my story, Chasing Rainbows. Chapter 5, Shattered Dreams. And so it was all arranged for Jess to move into the cottage the following Saturday. She had simply told Morris and Mary Bonner that she felt the urge to travel and seek employment elsewhere. Life was rather dull in this area, and she felt it was time to make a fresh start. The couple were somewhat shocked by her bold revelations, but as they were not related to her, they could say little to advise her otherwise. As for Jess, she was eager to be on her way. Staverton was only about 3 miles away, yet she would be unknown to any local folk in the area. She had purchased a cheap wedding ring, which she hoped would convince people she had a husband working away. Many nights she had wept into her pillow, wishing circumstances had been different. But no matter which way she examined her plight, there was no way she could ever hope to see Joseph Parker again. She had been a fool to believe they might have a future together. They came from different worlds. She could see that now. Jess had been blinded by her impassioned heart, and she had clung to his every word with eager hope that all would be resolved. Now she saw how naive she had been to expect a young gentleman of his class to give up so much. It had all been an impossible dream, which had been doomed from the start. Now was the time to put her dreams behind her and try to look to the future. Jess loved the little cottage from the moment she first saw it. It lay just on the edge of Moot Hill and was not far from Staverton. When she moved in, it was the middle of August, and she could walk easily into the village to purchase food. Geoffrey Parker had given her a modest allowance of money, which she had deposited in the local post office. He had given her strict instructions to let him know should she need anything. However, Jess felt she had already taken advantage of his generosity, and she could manage quite comfortably on her small allowance. She soon set to cleaning the cottage, and in no time it sparkled and shone like a new pin. She made new curtains from the blue chintz for the tiny windows. She set to work flat-leading the cooking range and scrubbed the floors with carbolic soap. She learned how to bake her own bread, and she began to grow vegetables in a small back garden. Although she was alone much of the time, at first she was content enough. She occupied herself cleaning the cottage, going for long walks upon Moot Hill. Some days she walked into Staverton to purchase her shopping. Jess soon grew accustomed to the new area, but she had to admit she was lonely at times. She found out the address of the local midwife and was reassured that all was well. It was arranged that the midwife would attend Jess in her confinement, so Jess felt that everything was in place, despite a slight fear of the unknown that niggled at the back of her mind. She had heard stories of how women coped with the trauma of childbirth, how much pain they endured, and how some even died. But she tried not to dwell upon these things, preferring to look ahead to when she was safely delivered and holding her infant close in her arms. Of course, she was afraid, but then she was only 17 years old. She knew she could contact Geoffrey Parker should she need anything, yet her pride prevented her from doing so. He had given permission to live in his cottage, set up a savings account for her at the post office, from which she drew an allowance. Jess felt that this was more than enough. However, when she lay down to sleep, her dreams were filled with a love that had been denied, a heart that yearned for fulfillment, and something that had been stolen from her, something that could never be replaced by material possessions. For she knew in loving Joseph Parker she had lost a part of her very soul, the core of her being. When he had gone from her life, her heart and soul had been left torn and bleeding, shattered into a million fragments. Jess Flanagan would awake, drenched in perspiration, tears trembling upon her eyelashes. As she washed at the floral-patterned china basin, she wondered if her emotional wounds would heal, and if she could ever begin to feel whole again.